The engine that keeps our garden running takes a bit of a beating all winter long. Heavy rains, snow, freezing temperatures, erosion, compaction, frost heaving, you name it. Not really fair for something that does so much for our plants the rest of the year. So, with spring on the way, it's time to not just think about gardening and growing, but also about giving something back. Hi, I'm Jeff from the Ripe Tomato Farms. Welcome back to another episode of the Garden Quickie, the show where in 2 minutes or less, all we do is give. And today's episode is all about our garden soils. More specifically, 3 boosters that we can give to recharge them after a long winter. Hey, time's short as you know it is, so let's dive in. When feeding an organic, highly functional backyard garden, slow and steady wins the race. And adding in slow-release dry amendments such as these to our soils and gardens directly is a great way to boost them in the late winter or early spring. Things such as alfalfa meal, canola meal, rock dust, rock phosphate, kelp sand, and even Epsom salts incorporated into already healthy soils can boost our production into the stratosphere. Being slow release, they can't burn your plants at any concentration. Just apply on the surface, even over that mulch, and let the rains wash them in. Our next booster is one that's completely free, and that's weeds. Now, this one does take a little bit of time as we have to process this and make it ourselves. It's super simple, and all you need is a bucket, water, and time. What this lacks in complexity, though, it more than makes up for in effectiveness. Generally, weeds are colonizing plants that are more adept at gathering nutrients than your average crop is. As such, their foliage is often chock full of goodness that we can harvest in 2 easy steps. Gather a large amount of weeds like you normally would when you're cleaning your beds, but instead of throwing them on the compost pile, squish them in to a decent-sized bucket. Fill that bucket right to the top with water, put on the lid, and let it sit for 4 to 8 weeks. Once that solution is done fermenting the weeds, strain off the undigested stems and debris, and you're left with the best fertilizer that money can't buy. You can apply it at any strength, but I cut mine in half with regular tap water. Finally, if we subscribe to the idea of feeding our soils to feed our plants, then compost is the ultimate boost that we could ever give our gardens. Incorporated into our topsoils or simply top dressed into our beds, no amount of compost is too much. Adding not only nutrients, but also valuable microbial life, as well as organic matter, compost may just be the single best thing you do for your garden this year. Except maybe checking out the next episode of the Garden Quickie. Thanks for watching, guys. And hey, if Garden Quickies are your thing, make sure to subscribe and click on this playlist here as we explore and solve more growing issues in 2 minutes or less.